Alexander Hamilton, born in 1755, in the Caribbean, the West Indies island of Nevis. He is born of an illegitimate relationship.
Right.
And throughout his political career later on, his political foes will not let him live down the fact that he was begat of an illegitimate relationship.
And not even
Whereas,
from the colonies.
right. And, we talked about with George Washington that, his growing up, he was not in a bad or a poor situation, but he wasn't of the aristocracy. And of the time, you had the titles and you had the landowner, you had the different things that you had to ascribe to be a person of means and a person of title. And well, it would always haunted, or at least was in the back of Washington's mind, which is why he trained himself to be as regimented and as proper and as careful as he was. No different with Alexander Hamilton. He grew up when he was 12. His mother passed away. His father left. He was off with maternal relatives in St. Croix. He went to go working at the age of 12 at an import-export business. And he was an avid reader and he was ambitious. And he, at the age of 12, showed what he could do. And within a couple of years, the people there just let him run the business. Imagine a 14-year-old running an import-export business. He's like, that's who he was. He wanted to move. He wanted to do things. He wanted to shake the world up. He was brilliant, and he always wanted to do more. And he wanted this, that, and the other. And it wasn't until 1772 he immigrates to America to come and get educated. And at that time, the revolution is starting to kick off. 1773, the Boston Massacre occurs, and he starts writing a couple of pamphlets in support of the colonists and talking about this. He's getting involved in this stuff. 1774, he goes to King's College, which is now Columbia University in New York City, but he doesn't finish because Lexington and Concord kick off. And at that point in time, 1775, he starts reading. And I think he was reading before about military tactics.
Right.
He didn't come from any military background. He wasn't from any royalty. He wasn't raised with any of those kind of things. So he learned it from books. He read about it. He read about strategy and tactics and all those stuff. And when the revolution really kicked off after Lexington and Concord, he formulated and helped create an artillery battery for the New York militia to guard New York.
Right. And,
kidding me?
And I mean, and just to go back and sort of talk about his education and talk about that issue, where it's really, sort of amazing where the people, again, as Rob was saying, the import-export company that he was working for, they actually sponsored him and paid for him to leave, to leave where he was and come to the States, come to the colonies and educate himself. And so, again, going back to just how accomplished it was, coming to the States on your own, no family in no connection to the colonies, was sent there by these sponsors that were willing to pay for him and educate him. And then again, he gets involved and he educates himself in the military to the point where he not only serves in the military, but progresses up to it to the point where he goes from just being a normal, line grunt to a line officer to actually becoming an aide de camp to General Washington. So, I mean, that says something where you have somebody where he as Rob was saying, even with the artillery, the battery that he designed, it was at Yorktown that he really proved himself as far as being, really a military strategist.